Roman Scorpion here. With a quick departure. Not doing much with bikes right now. Just had surgery. So kind of limited on what I can actually do outside and messing around with the heavier bike and all of that. But I do have to talk about a couple things that I've recently acquired and have had quite a bit of issue with. Now, every one of the firearms on this table are clear. Everything is completely unloaded. There is nothing. Neither in the Staccato, the Glock 19, also clear. The FN, that's also clear. The Smith & Wesson 357, he's also clear. And the other Staccato, also clear. I acquired several holsters about maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago, and a couple of them took some time to get. The Falcos that are made in Slovakia and were sent out. I got the first one for the Staccato XC with the Surefire 300 and red dot on it. And I got this holster, went through their break-in procedure, plastic bag over the gun, leave the gun in the holster, that whole thing. Did all of that. However, the gun still does not fit. And if you do happen to push it in far enough, you can't get it back out. I contacted Falco. Their customer service was really good. I got an email back pretty quickly, and they said they wanted a bunch of specific measurements, front sight height. They wanted a whole bunch of different things. So I measured everything as they asked me to measure it. Front sight height, and I actually went 5 thousandths above what the actual measurement is, because that seems to be the point of contention. That's where it's dragging inside the holster to the point where you can physically see the sight bulging out of the leather. I don't know if it's part of the manufacturing process. Maybe they're just not accounting for a larger sight channel. This is the factory sight from Staccato. So that's not the issue. The issue is not that the sight was changed, it's too high, or any of that stuff like that. It was ordered with the correct light and a red dot. This part clears fine. The light seems to fit in the pocket fine. They went ahead and sent me out yet another holster. And sadly, this one is worse than the first one. This is completely useless. You're never going to carry this firearm in this holster and be able to withdraw it without tearing your pants off. It's just never going to come out of that holster. I put it in 2 bags. I put the break-in solution on it as they requested, or they instructed to. I've done all of that, and I've let it sit. I've actually let it sit for 4 days in the safe in this holster with 2 bags on it, and to increase its bulk a little bit, and all of that. And all it successfully did was bulge the leather here where that front sight's sitting. It's physically bulged up. The sight channel itself is about useless. It's not actually in the center of the gun. It's off to the left-hand side, as you can see here. It's literally off to the left. There is zero alignment with it being actually in the middle of the slide. You get this firearm and you put it here. You could see it's already digging in. It is already digging in straight into the top of the holster. You go to push it in, you can't push it in. It does not want to go. And then, God help you if you go to extract it. And all it successfully does is fill the front sight with leather. It literally just gouges its way back through. I don't know if it could be seen too well in by camera, but right in here, it is, you can see there's a line where it's actually digging into the leather because it's not centered in the slide or in this pocket where the firearm sits. So I now have a couple of, $140 holsters, $150 holsters that are completely useless. Completely. There's no way you'd ever use these. I've talked to a local leathersmith here in Texas, brought both of the holsters to him, talked to him. He said that they never accounted for a sight channel. There is no sight channel cast into this leather or molded into this leather whatsoever. And it would cost me more to have these fixed by a competent leathersmith than it would for me to just switch to a different holster altogether. And it seems to be just these. The one for my Staccato P works fine. No issues whatsoever. That actually has a sight channel. No problem at all. This one right here, this is a Falco. As you can see, it is a Falco. It's for the Glock 19, and that fits as it should. I mean, easily drawn. It has a sight channel. You can physically see a sight channel in there. It's gapped. This was made for the firearm. This actually works. I don't know if their mold for the Staccato XC, the mold is bad. The sight channel's misaligned. I have no idea. I have sent an email again to Falco. Granted, they are in Slovakia, so it does take a bit of time for me to hear back from them, but you always hear back from them. I don't know I don't see a solution to this. I see this as two very expensive pieces of leather that do you no good. Not really sure why. The one for the Staccato C, that thing works perfectly. Not an issue. That does everything it's supposed to do as it's supposed to do it. I mean, I've never had a holster that had that much issue. Now, the same gun in a different holster, this is a T-Rex. I mean, obviously it's a dual style holster. It's an inside the waistband. It's perforated. It's flexible, but it's Kydex. And that seems to work without any issues whatsoever. I don't have problems with the Alien gear or pretty much any of the other holsters. I mean, I've never had a problem with them. It's just for whatever reason, it's this model. This model right here, for some reason, does not function with this gun. And it's specced out on the sticker that's on the bag. It is 25RZ 1535. It is for an STI SXC right hand 1 5-inch 9mm with the Surefire X300. That's what it calls out for right on the sticker. That is as it's lined out on the sticker. And I just don't know. I've never had any issues with, like I said, any other holsters. But for whatever reason, this one is completely unusable. So I'm just waiting to hear back from Falco to find out what and or if they plan on doing about that, or are they just going to ignore it? I don't really know. They've responded to it the first time with the very first holster, and this one I'm not really sure if you can see, but that one right there you can see. I'm not sure if you can pick that up on the camera, but it's actually gouging. And there's just no way of using this without severe modification. I would need, basically a dummy gun, like the same thing, that I could actually mount a piece of plastic, metal, whatever on top of to form a sight channel from what the leathersmith was saying. And then it has to be pressed in. Most likely these stitches will have to be removed and moved back slightly in order to press that in and make it something permanent. But as of right now, I have no answers. I mean, I carry this XC all the time. This has been the go-to since I got it. If you're going to spend $5,000 on a gun, and another 300-400 for an optic and another 300 for a light, you might as well get something that you want and something that's going to do the job for you for what your needs are. The Glock 19 with the MOS and the Holosun on it, never had an issue. Every holster I bought for that, of course, it's a Glock. Everybody makes a Glock holster. The FN Reflex, kind of the same thing. A little bit more difficult to get holsters, but the ones that you do get are absolutely perfect. Never had an issue. So, but yeah, that's it. I mean, I'll get back to you and let you know what the result is on this holster from Falco. I'm just kind of at a loss right now because I've never heard anybody have problems with them at all. So appreciate your time. Hope this maybe saves somebody some money, whether they're not getting something that's not going to work for them. And hopefully Falco can figure it out and make it so that we don't run into these problems again. Stay safe and, get out there and shoot.